Hey guys, Liam here, co-founder and director of Blue Streak Esports. Thought I'd do a little video ready for our upcoming series, which starts at the end of August. Obviously covering our Novice and Challenger and Pro series. I know you've all been following the Pro series announcements and the different drivers that we've got going on there. So today I thought I'd introduce one of the platforms that we'll be racing on, which is obviously the iRacing platform on the PC. Now, I am in no way a professional driver. I'm in no way an esports pro whatsoever. But you know, if I'm going to run an esports series and an esports company, I've got to get involved, right? I mean, I've been involved in motorsport before. I'm involved in sponsoring a few drivers already. So hell, we may as well give it a go on this as well, right? So I thought I'd talk you through what to expect, what's coming from iRacing, and I'll do a few more of these feature videos just on the other platforms that we're going to use. So iRacing is obviously an online race simulator, one of the better ones out there. We'll obviously be crossing into console series as well, like Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsport. We'll also use Assetto Corsa, which I know is a very popular sim racing game that you can use. And we may look at Race Room as well. But for today, we're having a look at iRacing, which a lot of the esports teams obviously use. A few of our drivers are used to the program, and I thought we'd get to grips with it. I'm using a very basic setup throughout all of this, just a very simple Logitech G920 wheel and pedals, which is about as entry as you're going to get on a horse feedback driver sim setup. You can pick them up for about £300 off of Amazon or just about any good gaming retailer, as we watch me go headfirst into the wall there. Magnifique. So yeah, you can get yourselves pretty involved for not a lot of money, basically. iRacing doesn't obviously use a control pad like your Xbox, your PlayStation, so you would need a wheel and pedal setup. So the G920 series is probably the best sort of entry level that you're going to get with a decent force feedback. iRacing itself gives you quite an immersive feeling in terms of racing. If we flick through the cameras here, if I go into the roll bar camera and see from inside the car, you can see there are, unlike Forza and Gran Turismo, we've got no sort of brake markers, no racing line indicators. We're having to sight our brake markers on track, preferably without crashing into a concrete wall for the second time in as many laps. So back into the pits we go for another outing. So yeah, it very much tries to give you an all-encompassing racing feel. You can see on the bottom left my turning and steering angles that I'm putting in with my wheel, my acceleration, my use of brake. And then it gives you sort of a speed output and obviously your best lap times. This video was taken as I was putting in through a few cycling laps. I did about an hour overall, just to sort of try and get a feel for the program. I'm very much used to Forza Motorsport, Gran Turismo, and a little Assetto Corsa. So this was brand new to me, and I don't mind saying I'm quite beginner to esports and racing. So I was used to obviously having at least a braking line to go along with. No other obviously aids, because I don't want that. I want to try and get as much of a feel as I can. So no ABS, no traction control, just that braking line, so I knew where I was going. But obviously that wasn't something I wanted in iRacing, so that is not on. And I want to try and get as involved with this as I can, as I'm sure you guys do as well. And obviously a lot of our pros will use a similar setup, albeit with probably a few less aids, better equipment than I'm currently using, and obviously a damn sight more skill than I've currently got. So yeah, you can sort of see I'm trying to learn here, obviously where my brake markers are. I know the circuit very well, the Catalunya circuit. I've been sort of into racing all of my life, and this is one of these tracks that appears on a lot of games and has done way back to sort of the first Gran Turismo series. So I know the track well, I know the corners well. Obviously just don't know my braking markers very well. But what I'll do is I'll take you into my time lapse, so you can have but at least a look and see how I sort of progressed through. Okay, so guys, here we are, coming through lap now, down into the first turn, which is a semi-heavy braking zone, I'd say, coming down at sort of 160 mile an hour here. I am probably hitting this a lot slower than you should in second gear, about 60 miles per hour through here. I do know from other games this next turn, the long curve, is one that you don't have to brake through. You can just sort of, feather your throttle and come through. So I'm doing that currently in third, although I think you can probably get away with that in fourth gear. Coming round now into the next corner, turn 5 I believe this will be. Again, I've probably sort of broke too heavy and too early here and then gone in way too slow. Missed a gear coming out of it as we come into the next turn. Again, too heavy on the brakes. Coming through, ran wide and almost plant it into the wall. Probably not the best idea. Too heavy on the throttle there, as you can tell, which has brought the back end round. But I've managed to sort of rescue it as we come up the hill. Again, too slow through here, so you could probably take that in third gear. This one here up the hill as we go on to the next straight, I know I'm going too slow here. I can take this in fourth gear any day of the week, and I think I'll do on my best lap. So we're coming down again to the hairpin, which has now been changed, I believe. I can't tell if this has been changed yet on iRacing. Don't think it has, but it has been changed in real life as you come through the next section here. So this is the last sector now, again running wide, which is, again, I should be taking that maybe third gear, a lot faster. This, again, too early on the brakes and too slow. Through into that last little cheeky chicane, wrong gear again, first gear, but you can go second gear through there. This is all obviously part of the learning curve, but that gives you an idea of my sort of starting point. This was a 2-minute lap, I believe, as we come across the line. Yeah, a 2-minute one. Now I know on Forza I can bang in sort of a 155-ish in an RS3 Audi. Obviously we're in the LMS R8 here, which is a slightly quicker car. So we should be getting into the low sort of 150s, 140s ideally, and then our pros will be going a lot quicker than that. So let's move on to obviously my quickest lap, so you can at least get an idea of where I picked up some time and some speed. Okay, coming around now, and off we go again. Back down this time, so we already know that I broke probably a bit too early and didn't take this as quick as I should have done the first time round. This time, braking again, a little bit too early, but at least carrying a bit more speed through, and then carrying that speed out the other end, bit of oversteer, and then into that Curva Grande. Again, you can see here this time I'm carrying more speed, which again you'll see our pros do. I know a lot of the Challenger guys that are watching this will be carrying a lot more speed through there. Same here, again, much better on the brakes. We're not slamming on too early this time, carrying the speed through, which is what you want to be doing. If you're like me and you're a novice, you're probably sort of thinking, yeah, I can see where I compare, and you're probably doing similar things to what I was doing. And braking that bit earlier, but you can sort of see the difference between this lap and the last lap already. Through that uphill sort of chicane section, again, a lot quicker, third gear this time, not second. Fourth gear through the top here. There we go, instead of third like last time, like I say, so we're carrying a good extra 10-15 miles an hour up that hill section, down into that horrible little hairpin bit that they've got at Catalonia. Again, second gear through and a lot more pace. So again, I've not broke as hard this time and not carried, I've not gone slow into it like I did last time. I've at least got more pace. There is more pace out there, as I say. This is a sort of I would think a 147, 148 lap is what you should be getting. I'm nowhere near that yet, obviously. I'm still burying myself deep in that novice hole that a lot of our guys are in. And I know my pros are probably laughing their backsides off, but at least I gave it a go, guys. Am I right? Over the line, here we come. 155.4. So we've shaved off 5 seconds nearly from that initial properly timed lap. So it just shows, the difference that practice makes, and we're going to need to get a lot of practice in order to improve those times and get, better at this. So there we go, guys. Gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect with iRacing. Probably a good idea of what to expect from, I would say, the novice category, because I don't consider myself a challenger at this point in time, and I definitely don't consider myself a pro. There is no way in hell I'm having to go against our pros who are out there to thoroughly mince me and give us one hell of a show. We've got guys obviously from everything from British Formula 3, Formula Ford, Brit Car, Touring Cars, TCR. There's a real mix of guys out there in different series who are having a go at this. So it should be interesting to see them all compete against each other as we go back into the wall there just to finish off. Lovely. So remember guys, if you wanted to have a go, pop over to our website at bluestreakesports.com. You can enter the series there, check out the Challenger and the Novice series. Likewise, if you feel you're a professional, do send us an inquiry. We're always open to adding pros in. But we look forward to seeing you on the racetrack at the end of August, guys.